and welcome back to Diabetes. On this episode we're going to be talking about the types of diabetes and the signs and symptoms. For starters, we will talk about the different types. There are two types of diabetes. There is type 1, which is insulin dependent, and type 2, which is a tablet based form. I'm not quite sure what the medical means, that is just tablets. The symptoms are the same for both types, so it's easier for that one for me anyway, because it's very confusing. But this site is mainly about type 1, but I can go into type 2 if needed, because I do know a couple of people that are type 2, so I can have them about and stuff and talk to them as well, and get help from medical as well. All the information that I am giving you today is off the website of diabetes.org.uk, so if you do want to check their website as well, they've got a more in-depth detail of information that I'm giving you. Over the years of being diabetic, I've had different explanations of how diabetes works, what it does, how it works. I think I've said that already, but just the basics on how this works, and it's all been long, complicated and technical. But while I was researching for something the other day on how to explain this video better to you, I also found it on the diabetes.org.uk website, and their explanation of it is quite simple. I quite like it. The way that they've put it is, type 1 is like you've got a padlock to your insulin, your hormone, the insulin. It's a padlock, but you've got no key, so the insulin can't be unlocked. Whereas type 2, you've got a padlock that needs 2 keys, but you've only got 1 key to open it, so you've got part insulin, but not enough to keep you going. Which I thought their explanation of that was brilliant. It was the most simplest thing I've ever heard. And I've been diabetic for 23, 22? I can't work things out in my head. My sister's 21, so I've been diabetic 21 years. It's the easiest way to remember how old your sister is. Right. The signs and symptoms of diabetes. I do have a board here to tell me. I was going to have it up in front of the camera and stuff, but it doesn't seem to be working. I've tried it on a couple of takes and it doesn't make it very clear, so I'm going to hold it at the side of the camera and I'm going to read from it, make it easier for you. Get to see more of me then. No, I'm only kidding. Right. There are more easier ones to notice. Some are more frequent and obvious than others, so I'll go through them. They're the more obvious ones that I find. Extreme thirst is a major one. You will drink all the time, and I mean all the time. I was diagnosed quite young, so I don't remember it, but I've heard stories of what my mum told me, and I've met people who are older that have been diagnosed, and I've noticed the diagnosis before they have, because I've noticed the signs, because obviously me having diabetes myself, I pick it up quite easily. But you'll have extreme thirst, extreme tiredness, and I mean extreme. You will not be able to get up. You'll be walking around and falling asleep while you're walking. Now this just won't be every so often, this will be every single minute, but you won't be able to sleep on a night. You will sleep. If you could sleep a full night, you'll get up the next morning and you'll feel like you've not slept all night. It's the easiest way I can describe it. Extreme weight loss. Now, you won't even be trying to lose the weight, you will just lose it. I lost stones in a matter of months because I was that unwell and I lost stones. But because of all the other stuff on top of that, you will also have frequent going to the toilet for a wee, or frequent urination as it's put on the website. Obviously with all your drinking and stuff, it flushes it all out your body because you can't keep the liquid. You will be going to the toilet all the time. The less frequent ones that you might notice is you'll have blurred vision. You'll have quite blurred vision. You'll be able to see, but you'll be constantly squinting. I'm doing it at the moment, actually, just talking about it. But you will have blurred vision. You'll be slow at healing as well. You'll notice that if you have a cut on your finger that usually takes about 2-3 days to heal, a week later you'll still have it. When I used to work in a retail, I'd cut my finger on something and it'd take weeks to heal. I'd have to keep a plaster on it for weeks just so that it didn't get knocked and reopened. But it's there. And one that I didn't know was actually a sign of diabetes until I was on the website is genital itching or regular episodes of thrush. I didn't realise that was a sign of some diabetes. I just thought that was an effect. No, not an effect. I'm trying to think of the word I'm trying to use here. You get it because you're diabetic. I didn't realise it was a sign of diabetes as well. See, learn something new every day. I've been diabetes for ages. Right. For the types of it, the type 1 symptoms, you will notice that they will be quite obvious. They will be there. You'll notice it, and they'll come on quite quickly over a couple of weeks normally. But once you've been diagnosed and the treatment starts, you will notice that you'll get better. Do you know what I mean? You won't get perfect, but you'll start to get better over time. For the type 2, they're not that obvious, and sometimes the symptoms can develop over years, and I mean years. But on your routine checkups, they do checks for this anyway, so they will pick it up during a routine checkup. But if you do think that you have any of the symptoms that I have mentioned today, please do go to your GP and just say to them, you think you're diabetic, can you be checked? They will either do a blood test there and then, or they will get you to get a blood test done, because it's all picked up on blood tests now. I do believe most pharmacists do it as well now. I'm just trying to think. I know that some pharmacies do it. I'm not quite sure on them all though, but I will check that out and mention it in my next video about if certain pharmacies do still have the diabetes check-ins. But I will let you know on that one. I do apologise for this video coming out a bit late, but I've been a bit unwell, so I've not been really up to videoing. But hopefully my next video will be out middle of next week, maybe the end of next week again. But as you know, because this video will probably be uploaded by Monday, so I'm actually recording this Sunday. So we'll say it'll be up at some point next week, hopefully. I did say weekly, but sometimes I might have to do it 2 weekly depending on how things go and stuff. But videos will be coming up. The next video, I'm not quite sure on what I'm going to do it on yet, but I will pick from the list that I have had. But if anybody's got any suggestions, just leave a link in the description below, or you can even tweet me at diabetiles.co.uk. I can't remember my own Twitter account now. At diabetiles, I'm being rough information by my husband in the corner. It's at diabetiles. There you go. So yeah, it's not that often I give that account out. So just type it in, you'll find me there. It's a little picture of a wolf. It's the same wolf that's on the beginning of my logo, and you'll see it. And just send me a link, or you can send a link in this option, and I will talk to you later. Right. Bye.